you again, old friend.
Blue Rose. It doesn't get any bluer.
They'd give 2 rides.
I'll bet she did.
Is that a cherry pie?
Fix their hearts or die.
What kind of world are we living in where people can behave like this?
People are under a lot of stress, Bradley.
Is it about the bunny?
I had another Monica Bellucci dream.
This is the water.
Sheriff, we got a lot to talk about.
Sheriff, I don't know where I am.
I don't know where you are either.
I'm falling through something.
Fear.
Space, maybe.
I
was in a box.
Was in the box. Now I was out of the box. Now we just simply don't know.
Yeah, that box was scary. I'll tell you that.
I love the box. It scares me, but I like it. It's a good scary.
Welcome to Twin Peaks, the Horror with the Hanna's Twin Peaks rewatch podcast.
I'm
in
Hanna.
comedy. I'm not doing that. Today we are covering Twin Peaks: The Return, Part 2. Name of the episode is The Star's Turn and Time Presents Itself, which is another thing that the log lady says in this episode. Once again, like every episode, written by Mark Frost and David Lynch, directed by David Lynch. Something I noticed this time is it's edited by Dwayne Dunham, who was all over directing episodes of the original series, so I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
This aired on March 21st, 2017, right after the first episode, so same number of viewers, which was like 500,000.
Okay.
My fun facts were this is the first time we're getting a live musical performance from the Chromatics, which a lot of episodes have live musical performances, as I think a lot of people know we've talked about before. And it's awesome. I know you love this song, and it got added to your playlist because I was listening to it a bunch because of the show.
Yeah, I like it. I really liked another song that they did that will be in a future episode, so I'm excited for that.
I also realized I called them the Chromatics. They're just Chromatics.
Yeah.
Yeah, then dumb me.
Dumb you. That's okay.
All right, plot description. I realized going through there that if you wanted to actually read a plot description of these, it would be way too long. So I'm giving a synopsis, we'll really call this. And you really just got to watch these episodes. So our synopsis is Bill Hastings' wife visits him in jail where he says he was never in the apartment but dreamt it. She is later murdered in her home by Mr. C, whom she recognizes. In Las Vegas, a businessman, Duncan Todd, sends money to an unseen woman from a future job. And when his buddy is like, why do you work for them? He's like, don't ever get involved with a guy like him. And all he says is him. Mr. C employs Daria, Ray, and Jack to obtain information. Perceiving that Jack and Daria have turned on him, he murders them. He has a plan to avoid his due return to the Black Lodge and has a telephone conversation with someone he believes is the missing FBI agent, Philip Jeffries, who mentions Major Briggs and Bob. Mr. C sets out for the South Dakota prison where Ray is imprisoned. Hawk approaches the entrance to the Black Lodge near Twin Peaks and has a phone call with the log lady. Inside the Black Lodge, Cooper encounters Mike and Laura Palmer, who opens her face, revealing a bright light. The arm, who has evolved into a tree with a brain on top, says Cooper's doppelganger must return before Cooper can leave. The arm's doppelganger attacks Cooper, and he falls into the glass box in New York City at the same time that Sam is welcoming Tracy in the first episode, then into space or somewhere else. At the Roadhouse in Twin Peaks, the Chromatics are performing. Chromatics are performing, and Shelley sees James walk in and tells her friends that he's always been cool. And that he was in a motorcycle accident.
Yes,
we
did learn he was in a motorcycle accident, which feels on brand for James.
Really does. So a lot of things happened in this episode beyond what I said there. And I think one of them was I talked about how he believes it's Philip Jeffries, but it's like very clear that it's not Jeffries because he's like, wait, who is this? And they're asking, you met with Briggs, which was interesting because I told you Briggs's DNA is all over this series. And soon I'll be reunited with Bob, is what this caller says.
Yes.
Which makes you think it's a entity within the lodge, maybe the one in charge of them.
Yeah, and who knows?
And not Jeffries. But it's also interesting to know that
Jeffries is somehow involved here.
Yes. They also did make it clear in there that Jeffries was supposedly the one that called Daria to put the hit on Mr. C.
She says that.
Yes.
Yeah, she tells him that.
But they don't, they like to use a lot of copy names, so it's unsure. But very fun, right? Who'd have thought that David Bowie would be back?
Well, I figured there was a reason people are so hyper-fixated on his presence in the movie and then his scenes in the missing pieces. And I figured that he, in some way, shape, or form, had to be at least somewhat present, whether physically or just a mention of him in the return. So it makes a lot of sense to me.
I find it interesting how so much of the show has characters where the actors have died in real life, but the characters are still very much involved, and like Briggs specifically. I think that's really neat, and I like that they were able to do that. And it's like, oh my god, like what was going on while we weren't watching these characters?
Well, my thing is like, why would Briggs be in touch with Evil Coop, with Mr. C? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, they didn't really know he was evil when he came out. He just disappeared.
But they would know now.
You would think?
You would think.
He disappeared after like a month. Yeah.
And he's been on the run.
Yeah, well, I think he just disappeared. I don't know if they said he was on the run.
Okay, but he's disappeared.
Yes.
I'm sure the FBI is looking for him.
Yes.
He's definitely on the run from at least the Blue Rose Task Force buddies.
So, yeah.
I would assume. I mean...
Keep watching, is what I'll say.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying that is going to be like plot points.
Yeah, I would guess.
Yeah. So, any other general thoughts that you have? I have a couple here, and I brought up a couple already, so...
I thought... As always, all of the lodge red room stuff was creepy as hell. I like the new design of the arm, but the arm having a doppelganger was kind of mind-bending to me.
Me too.
So I'm still kind of processing that. Like, does Bob have a doppelganger? Does Mike have a doppelganger? Like, why does the arm have one? And then also the arm is seemingly already an evil presence, so having like evil the arm is like, how does that work?
So I read up on this a little because I was curious, and someone made a very good point about how this is a great example of cosmic horror, in that basically some of the lodge entities, at least the arm, are so far above our own consciousness and intelligence that there's not good and evil. There's just things that they do, and it's impossible to perceive the reason because their reasons are so far beyond our like mortal reasons. And I think that kind of makes sense because the arm throughout the whole show is both on Cooper's side and not on Cooper's side. The giant seems to almost always be on Cooper's side. However, he then does show up in the lodge or the Red Room at the end of the series. So I think it's hard to say. There's also some theories that like the doppelgangers were only created when Cooper entered. Because we do end up seeing a Laura doppelganger at that point, and we end up seeing, I think, an armed doppelganger when he was still played by the other guy.
Oh, did we?
I believe so, because he had like the white eyes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so it's possible he was created then, and now he's just around. And so it's hard to know, like, what are their motives against each other? They're just higher beings to some degree. So
yeah.
I wouldn't think too hard. You kind of just have to know that their motives are outside of our comprehension, is what I would say.
That's for certain.
Which is scary. I think that plays into the cosmic horror element.
I was also so interested thus far with the scenes that are occurring there with Cooper and like what he knows or how the passage of time has been experienced by him there, because they're kind of like, do you know who I am? Like, he's like, are you Laura Palmer? Like, he doesn't know. And then,
well, that is,
like, but she's dead. And then she's like, I am dead, yet I live. So it's very interesting, like, how time has passed for him, because you would think that he would remember that, since that case is what brought him here.
That is also a recreation of the scene from the third episode of the show. A lot of the dialogue's the same. There's some additional things added, which plays this whole idea of like, in his dream, he's an old man. Yeah. And then Laura's there. And at one point he's like, are you Laura? And she basically is like, I feel like her, but sometimes my arms bend back.
Yes.
And she says that again. So I think it's supposed to kind of recreate that, where it's like he was dreaming of him being trapped there and how he's like aged now, which makes the fact that we have the return 25 years later even cooler, because they had him aged 3 episodes in.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. I do think that his brain is scrambled, though.
That man has to have scrambled eggs in there.
Yes.
There's not brains anymore.
But at one point early in the show, the very beginning, he's talking to the fireman / the giant, and he says all that code word. He goes, okay, I know what I need to do. And then he gets popped back somewhere else.
Yeah. So. But then you also in this one have like the two, him and Mike, saying, is this the future or is it the past? Someone's here. So it's like...
He says it twice.
What the fuck is happening?
I think it's outside of our comprehension. I think we could think about it, but basically it might be like Arrival, where they're perceiving time all at once.
That was kind of...
But it's like an eviler version where you don't really get control over it. It's kind of like the lodge decides where you're perceived and where you are.
Basically, I bring this up because I'm just interested to see that version of Coop that is falling through whatever time and space, perhaps, who's to say.
And
I want to know, like, what he knows, who he knows, if he knows anything.
Yeah. Well, I want to think about a couple things, because the whole space edition, or whatever we're calling this, is so crazy, because the plot setup, one, I will say this is a Mr. C centric episode, and I think it's awesome for that. But we learn that Mr. C / Bob / Coop Doppelganger is going to get pulled back into the lodge. He's been out for too long, which is a new thing, right? We didn't really know that. And he's like, nah, I don't want to come back. I like living
And he's like,
here.
I have a plan to not
I have a plan to
go
not come
back.
back. And the arm, who we don't really know, is like, hey, yeah, it's time for you to go because he needs to come back in, and tries to send Coop out. And then we see Coop looking out, seeing Mr. C drive the car, and you're like, okay, he's about to take him back over.
But then the
doppelganger arm is like, nope. And just, he says to him, non-existent. And I think he's literally trying to wipe Cooper from existence, is what that means, and sends him into the shadow realm, basically. Yeah. And so there's this idea of like, okay, does the arm, he might not be on Cooper's side, but he probably wants his Garmosia from that Bob has been collecting for 25 years.
But then it's like, why wouldn't you just let them swap? Doppelganger arm,
I don't know.
bad boy.
I don't know. Is Doppelganger arm working with Mr. C, or is it just he wants the opposite of whatever the arm wants? Mind melting, right? I wouldn't think too hard, but it is fun to discuss.
Sure, it's fun.
You don't think it's fun?
I'm having a blast.
Does your head hurt? I'm just chatting through some things, but I do like that shot of it's like, oh, he's about to leave, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, non-existent, because it also is probably because at the same time Mr. C is coming up with his plan to not go back.
Well, that's also like makes you wonder how connected his plan to not go back is with the doppelganger arm showing up, and if that's just a coincidence or that has something to do with what Mr. C was intending to happen or assuming would happen. And then I just kind of want to know separately whether that's related or not to his plan. Like, what was his plan to not return? Will we learn that? Who's to say?
And it's kind of like Mike wants Coop out because Mike's a good guy. Good, in quotes. The arm, who's part of Mike, wants Coop out probably because he wants Bob's, again, his cream corn.
Yes.
Which we saw in the Fire Walk With Me. Mm-hmm. The arm eats the Garmbonsia, the pain and sorrow that Bob collected for him. Mm-hmm. So that's my assumption.
He's hungies.
He's hungies, yeah. Okay. So that's a lot to say. I was going to say, but those are my most general thoughts. Is like, Jeffries is back. I love Briggs. Who called Mr. C? I'm sure you're going to have that question. Yeah. But just one line I really, really liked in this is, I want, or I don't need, I want. From Mr. C to Daria.
He's talking about the information.
Yes. And
from Bill's secretary.
Yes, from Bill's secretary, Betty.
Which is also so interesting, like, if you're so pressed to have it, how is it just a want, not a need? Is it just your...
Because it's a cold thing to say.
Yeah. I'm like, are you just putting up a front? Or, like, is this just, like, bonus information to get confirmed, like, that your plan's going to work? Or, like,
he's just
whatever
a badass guy being like, I don't need anything.
Yeah.
I love it. I want. It's just also creepy in the way he says it. So
really
good.
Really creepy in this episode. There's one thing that he says that I have written later that I will talk about.
Good.
Yeah.
He is just all over the blueprint of this as well. Like, he knows, he kills, but also knew, what's her name? Bill Hastings' wife.
Yeah.
And Bill accused her of having an affair with the lawyer and someone else. And you're like, oh, is that Mr. C?
Well, she says, what are you doing here? Instead of, like, being, like, screaming scared that there's a stranger in her house. So, yeah, it is implied that they knew each other, but we don't know in what capacity.
And then he just ices her.
Yeah.
You start to realize, like, Mr. C's just been doing stuff for 25 years, and you're like, what were the adventures of Mr. C? And they were probably scary and not good.
There's probably only sadness to be collected from that.
You're going to learn more. Yes, there is. Okay, those are my general thoughts. I know there's a lot. These are hard episodes to chew on. So, and they're fun though. So why don't we get into your Special Agent Cooper on the case? And I'm sure that'll lead to more discussions.
You've already talked about a lot of it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stole your thunder.
I just chunked it down into 3 main characters focused on in the episode.
Okay.
So Bill, we have our Bill update, which is Bill telling his wife that he wasn't there in Ruth Davenport's apartment, but he had a dream that night that he was in her apartment. And during this conversation, she accuses him of having an affair with his secretary and admits she was having an affair with their lawyer. And then when she gets home, she's shot by Mr. C.
The whole I dreamt being there is fascinating because his DNA is there and his prints are there.
Yeah,
but
so
what
like
if it was a dream
part
only?
of him somehow was there.
And that really freaks me out because I feel like his reaction is valid. Like if you were pulled into some kind of cosmic horror like this out of nowhere, and you're like, I wasn't there. I dreamt I was there, but my DNA's there and she's dead.
I have crazy shit happen in my dreams that like, if that suddenly happened to me in real life, I'd be like, that's not me. I wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like my subconscious was making, like I was doing it in my dream for whatever the fuck reason, but like I didn't do that. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, uh-oh, was that
what did I do?
Thing real or not? Like sometimes I'll have a dream. I think sometimes I'll wake up and be like, oh, did I have this conversation? Like, did this professor from college die? Or am I misremembering based off like a weird dream I had?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it does just play into the idea of like, what are dreams? And clearly part of this was real. And I just think like valid crash out from him.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
I think you'll watch throughout, and he's an interesting character because so many of the other characters we've seen have been like kind of prepared for this level of tomfoolery, we'll say. Like Coop already kind of understood it. Briggs, definitely. But like Hastings is just what feels like just a random dude that is now being pulled into this otherworldly chaos. That's the best way to put it. And so I like seeing that. It's a new lens for us as the viewers.
Odd.
All right, get us to character number 2.
Mr. C. Mr. C is getting the information from Ray, from Hastings' secretary, but then Ray ditched him, and then he ends up in jail. And then Mr. C learns from Daria that they were hired to kill him, and Jeffries ordered the hit, and then he kills her.
Yes, I'm like just thinking about all that because the passage of time is so weird too, because he goes and gets them from that woman and she says it's a world full of truck drivers, which I like that quote a lot. And like he's like hiring them almost, but yet they've also been double agent hired to assassinate him.
So like at what point were they hired to assassinate him? I'm guessing it was after he already had hired them. Mm-hmm. But like how does whoever know, and who
you might not get answers to all these.
And yeah, lots of things.
It's just interesting, and it kind of keeps you it keeps you confused, and I like that. So.
Yeah. And then finally I have Coop updates. Coop is informed basically his doppelganger Mr. C must come back in before he can go out, and that he is going to go out. But then the Arms doppelganger messes that up, and he gets sent to the box, and who knows where.
Him going to the box, like, what in the hell? So now we kind of know that the box is at least somewhat connected to the lodge.
I mean, I assumed as much, but I still don't understand the how, why.
And why did Coop going to the box immediately then result in later in the experiment?
Coming through the box. Yeah.
Like, is that connected? Maybe. Was the experiment chasing Coop and ended up there? Like, what?
Yeah.
Was there another attraction there?
He shows up in the box while they were out in the hallway when what's his name's collecting Tracy and the coffee. So
I love him just like landing in there and just like swimming through like zero gravity.
Yeah.
It's so creepy. I just, your face during all this was so funny because it's just like, what the hell is this show?
Yeah. But in like a way that I enjoyed it.
Oh, I love it. It's like talking about it feels so funky because it's like we went from such a normal-ish narrative structure to this, which has a narrative structure, but how do we... So much narrative is happening that we're not seeing, and we have to like kind of put the pieces together ourselves. So, okay. Well, now that we've rambled about all these different things, let's do some vibe checks. We'll try to be a little normal.
I don't know how the fuck to vibe check this episode, bro. There's no decent vibes here besides characters that I'm pretty sure we vibe checked last week.
I will be interested to see how that goes moving forward because I do think that this is this world feels a little less pristine than the way Twin Peaks was supposed to feel, even though Twin Peaks had like a lot of evil under the surface because it's very soapy. You're feeling something different. So let's do it. Okay.
Bill's wife, 0 out of 10. Mean lady.
Dead out of 10.
Mean lady. Totally fair to be mean to a person that you think murdered someone and was cheating on you, but I get the vibe that she probably started cheating on him first, and it was just an overall miserable marriage for the two of them, and she was sleeping with multiple people, seemingly, and she was just mean, and I didn't vibe with her attitude. 0 out of 10. Bad.
She seems suspect in all of this, especially since he seems like he knows nothing and she seems more on top of it.
Yeah.
You know. I did not have her in mind, but I will give a 10 out of 10 to Mike. Mike's my boy. Mike's like Coop's guardian angel right now in my mind. Mm-hmm. His evil guardian. Well, not evil, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I also gave Ray a 0 out of 10.
Ray?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he just seems annoying.
He just seems like a dickhead.
Yeah.
And like not in an interesting way. Like just a dickhead way, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, no one has good vibes. Like, I don't know how to rate anybody.
Well,
and like those
Mike a 10 out of 10.
characters weren't nuanced. I mean, it's like 0s or 10s. Like there's no nuance there. So it's like,
I did give Mr. C a 1 out of 10. He gets 1 because he's cool as fuck, even though he's clearly extremely evil and bad and scary, but he's kind of cool. So he's cool yeah. Those dark eyes, the hair, the like bobification of Coop is so good. And it's a great character that I can't help but give him a 1 out of 10. He's a cold motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's the way I would put it.
There's something so interesting about when he like gets in bed with her and like you hear the like sounds of his leather in like this otherwise quieter scene.
And this is, I mean, it's funny. This is like one of the most evil characters in all of the show. And it's like, he's kind of cool. Don't worry. He'll do more evil stuff and we won't think he's cool later. You got another one?
Sarah Palmer.
Yeah.
A please go to therapy out of 10.
That poor woman is just sitting in her house watching.
She breaks my heart.
Just ripping cigs, sitting in the same house that her, well, not daughter died, and that she lived in while both her husband and daughter died, and where her niece was killed.
And where her husband was
raping her daughter
for years.
And she's still there, sitting there watching footage of animals eating each other.
And like the whole coffee table's cluttered with things and like trash. And she's clearly been living a difficult life since everything happened. And that's like what you would expect from a person who's experienced immense trauma and hasn't, coped with it. And I don't think she had the coping skills to cope with it without therapy. So please go to therapy out of 10.
Great performance by Grace, though, to not even have to say much. Just her visual. Like, she looks like she's suffering.
Yeah.
So
you feel her pain like radiating off of her.
Yeah. And lastly, for me, I gave James a James out of 10. As always. He's the most James. He's still... It was pretty funny how she was like, he just got quiet after he got into a motorcycle accident. And I was like, James didn't have enough brain cells up there to be getting into a motorcycle accident.
No, but actually, that's why he's quiet now. He lost what remained.
That poor guy. And he was just like staring at people.
Yeah, and he's been through it.
Yeah. I'm happy to have him back. Hanna thinks he's much more handsome looking as an adult. And so do I.
I mean, yeah, he looks worse for the wear. He looks like he's been through some shit, but he looks better.
Yeah.
He just looks like, he aged 25 years.
He's really James, and he Jamesed all over the place in this episode.
All over the place.
Yes. Okay. Do we have any suspects of the week for whatever crimes are being committed? The murder of Ruth Davenport.
So last time I was talking about how I definitely assumed there was some influence of a lodge baddie, which obviously I still stand by. I think that there's now this interesting clue here of that Mr. C wants information from Bill's secretary. So it's like, how is he specifically involved in this? And does he, because he is like in a person, whatever, it's like whatever evil he has or contains is like in a person form, not like a Bob or like a arm. Like he's not, it's like mystical. So like, I don't know what he has capabilities of, I guess. So I don't know if he has the ability to like control a person in two places. Like, I don't know. Cause to me, it feels like, yeah, maybe he was like asleep at home in bed, but like a part of him.
Oh, I gotcha.
Like, does he have an evil doppelganger that's like over there murdering people? Like, I don't know.
Mr. C, I don't want to give too much away. I don't think this is like crazy to say. Is kind of this amalgamation though of Coop Doppelganger and Bob together.
That's kind of why I kept calling him Bob Coop still.
Bob Coop still. That's why I just call him Mr. C. He's his like own entity. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think Bob is leaving this. Like, this is he's confined to Coop, doppelganger, because he's like now kind of part of it. But but I'm not honestly, I'm not even positive. You might be like, but that's what I'm saying. The way I'm reading the text of the show, that's how it feels. But you're right. He could be out and about also.
It's hard to fully know. And then also I would assume if like Bob has lived in you for long enough, eventually, like he's already a doppelganger.
Yeah.
Which is already some sort of sinister evil. And then having Bob attached in
is
some
going
way,
to make you much more
form.
evil.
So even when Bob leaves, I'm sure you're just all bad now.
You basically have like the most dangerous human you could have right now. Because you think Coop is like this very altruistic, seeming like closer to being a complete person, like a savior in his mind, someone that with a lot of skill, right? So now you have the doppelganger, the shadow self of that, which is now a very scary idea. And then you add whatever the hell Bob is. Mm-hmm. It's like, wow, so I have a skilled evil person who is extreme evil and the opposite of whatever Agent Coop, who seems like a nice person, are.
Yeah.
Like, that's a dangerous human right there. Or, well, a dangerous entity, whatever he is. It's a great character.
Not ideal circumstances.
Yeah. And any ideas who the John Doe is at this point?
No, I'm like trying to think of... So... We're not getting a lot of scenes with, like, people who have acknowledged someone in their life being missing, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, like, make an assumption about who that could be. Like, we don't know anything about Bill's life that would justify who it could be. And we don't know unless, like, this is another person his wife was sleeping with. So that would be a fun tie-in.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't have any reason that would or could be the case. And then...
I think that there might be hints as we move along. But I do, like, thinking back, a lot of things that you have to pick up are, like, things happening off screen. It's kind of like little hints here and there and thinking about what was happening maybe before the show or at times we're not seeing. But I wouldn't... If you can't figure it out, I don't think I ever figured it out because so much other stuff happens.
Yeah.
That I get off of that. But I think it's a fun little...
And then it's also, like, to be fair, we watched this episode over a week ago. We've had a lot of, like, personal life stuff happen that's delayed recording. So it's making my brain feel more like soup. Like, I feel like I'm just, like, blabbering on like a moron because I
You sound
can't
fine.
put my thoughts together super well because I am now distanced from watching this particular episode.
Well, that's okay. We'll make sure to record quicker after episode 3.
That's the intention.
But you also need to, like, chew on it also. So it's, like, hard to go straight from it. We need like a perfect like 3-day buffer, maybe 2-day buffer.
2.
Okay.
1.
Well, then we'll get away from those and let's talk about who we're trusting with our coffee this week. And it's pretty hard.
No one to trust.
I have two.
I have one. You go first. Mine's stupid.
I have Hawk, obviously. Hawk's the man,
Yeah, I didn't
always.
want to say that.
And I have Chromatics.
Fuck you. I have literally no one from the Mr. C or Bill storylines. Didn't want to say Hawk or Log Lady again. So Chromatics from the Roadhouse.
That's really funny. This is why we're married. Chromatics, they're trustworthy. That performance was great.
Performance was great.
Yeah.
Song's great. Love
They
that
look
song.
good. It's cool that they're coming out to Twin Peaks to perform.
There was no one else that could possibly have been said because this is all bad people and then Shelly and James for like 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of, I have someone interesting to not trust with my coffee. You want to know who it is?
Who?
I had Shelly that I'm not trusting with my coffee because she's straight up lying to her friends.
About?
Where they're like, oh, he's into you. And she's like, James has always been cool. I'd be like, no, girl, stay away from that guy. Like, she's setting her friends up for failure.
By
No?
saying James
is cool and that she should go hit on him.
I mean, that's not how I was taking
I'm
this
also
scene.
just like making a joke. But I was just thinking funny when she was like, James has always been cool. I was like, Shelly, I never even saw you interact with James.
A great point. We never saw her.
So I'm not trusting her.
Even once.
She's lying.
But like obviously
I
was
think,
happening.
I think James has always been cool. James is cool. I just know everyone else doesn't think so. So
yeah.
Do you think that this is a very funny Lynch insert to be like, fuck you guys, James is cool, and put that in there?
Probably.
I love that for him.
But also, no, he hasn't. James is like the biggest
Lynch
loser
thinks
here.
he is, clearly.
James is literally like one of the biggest losers here.
And he had a head injury on top of already being really dumb.
I'm not talking about the head injury. I have only interacted with this man pre-head injury.
Well,
Okay.
this might be his second, given
Yeah.
him and Andy would be good buddies now. I'm sorry, it's so
equivalent
mean.
numbers of brain cells. Like, who's not invited to my coffee dates? Anyone who wants to hang out with Bob is bad news. So whoever called Mr.
Jeffries.
C, the fake Jeffries, and said he's excited to be with Bob again, you're not invited. Like, absolutely not invited. And then the Arms doppelganger. Whatever the fuck that was.
Do you like the tree doppelganger? I should have asked.
I love the tree.
We've talked about this, that Michael Anderson was, I guess, a real piece of shit in real life to David Lynch and accused him of, like, assaulting his own daughter and made, like, weird implications about him and how the show was about, like, how David was writing based on his real life or something. And so he was like, hey, you're not coming back. So he was like, guess what? I'll just replace you with a tree.
And I
love that.
love the tree.
Yeah. Some people are just weirdos.
And some people just deserve to be trees.
Yeah. I love the skeletal tree with the weird brain on top. Like, it looks like a sucker with like a blow pop where the gum is left after. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. It does. I think it's a cool design. But
it's great. When I first saw it, him repeating the line, I am the arm, and I sound like this, and then doing the woo.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, it's the arm. I think I did not even understand that the first time I watched the show.
Oh, see, no, I caught it. And, I mean, he says, I am the arm. So it's pretty easy to catch personally.
The evolution of the arm.
Yeah, they literally label it like, this is the evolution of the arm. And then the
think
arm
my brain
goes, I am the arm.
But I was like, how did he become... I was being too stupid the first time. But.
Well, he was an arm person, but
True,
now
he was an
he's
arm that
of
turned into a person.
trees.
Now he's a tree with a brain.
Arms of trees.
Yeah.
Now he's several
He has a
arms on
doppelganger.
the tree.
The doppelganger was scary.
Yeah, I that thing's not coming to my coffee. Obviously. I don't get it. And I'm scared.
Any others other
That's
than fake
two.
Jeffries?
That's two. I said the arms doppelganger was number two.
Mr. C's not coming to coffee. My
obviously
goodness.
not. I thought that was obvious. So, although
Yeah, you don't even need to name it.
he's kind of cool.
No,
Maybe
absolutely
he
not.
No.
He just
I'm
sussed
kidding.
out that
I'm
dude
kidding.
Jack and just killed him off screen.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay, the
we'll get
way
to
he
it.
was touching that dude's face, I was like, stop
gonna
touching
kiss.
him. Well, no, I knew something bad was happening, but then we just kind of cut it there with him like
right.
massaging the man's face.
Well, speaking of all that, let's talk best performance. I'm certain we have the same person.
Kyle
for this.
MacLachlan.
It's Kyle MacLachlan. And this episode almost feels like Kyle being like, fuck all the haters. Like, I can act. Because, he didn't do a ton of like big roles. I mean, he had stuff, but like he comes out with this and you're like,
It's
oh my God, he's
bananas.
horrifying. He's playing two different characters at once that are completely different. Like, he's almost unrecognizable as Mr. C.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to remember that that's Kyle MacLachlan. It's really impressive, and I'm glad that he is like kind of having a resurgence, at least with like the Fallout show.
Yeah.
And I want to see more of him because this is just incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. I really like it. I think he's doing a really great job. And I'm going to use this to transition into my Black Lodge moment. I know we normally do
That's
cherry
okay.
pie first, but
Do what you got to do.
he uttered a quote that is my Black Lodge moment, and the delivery scared the shit out of me, frankly. And that is Daria saying, "Are you going to kill me?" And the way he responds and says, "Yes, Daria."
It's spine chilling.
It's
Can we say
terrifying.
that whole scene? First of all, she's on the phone and she's like, he's here, I gotta hang up. And then immediately comes in and he's like, who are you on the phone with? And she says, Jack. And then he just
then he
immediately
plays it
plays
back.
the conversation that happened 30 seconds ago. He has recorded and he's like, I know it wasn't Jack because I killed Jack 2 hours ago. And you're like,
yeah.
And then she tries to run. It beats the shit out of her. It's really violent and scary.
Yeah,
and
it
then
is. He's like
are you
laying
gonna
in
kill
bed
me
with
now?
her in her
And-
lingerie.
and like holding her.
And having this he's already told her he's going to kill her, but then they're having a conversation, and then she asks again, and then he's like, yes, and
Yes,
then does
Daria.
it, and oh my God, horrifying.
The way he ends up killing her too, just like pillow over her head and then gun, was just brutal and freaky. And it's
But part of me is like, I'm glad it was fast.
yeah. I don't know. It was the whole like caressing her and talking.
Yeah, it was
And then he
gross
gets
and
to go hang out
horrifying.
with our girl Jennifer Jason Leigh in the other room.
Which is like, what the fuck is that?
I love her though.
And I didn't even write that into my questions because I didn't even like label that as happening.
He's hooking up
in
with
my
Jennifer
notes.
Jason Leigh.
Like, what the fuck, ma'am? Where are you coming here from?
So I also had that as a Black Lodge moment. I also had Cooper falling through space.
Yeah. So.
And you forgot one because it was very out there. It was the woodsman in the jail cell across from Bill Hastings that was just sitting there. Well, I call it a woodsman because that's what it looks like to me.
Well, I did write scary motherfucker 2 cells over that basically fades and floats away.
His head floats away.
What the fuck?
I think it's a woodsman because it looks like the woodsman from the original or from the movie and from I Just Know Woodsman. Which means he's like a lodge entity of some sort, which makes me think, is he there just like feeding off of the pain and sorrow of Bill Hastings?
Yeah,
and then he just
scared in
but he
jail.
just like disappears and his head just floats up to the screen. Some of the like the PowerPoint looking effects scare the shit out of me. And
it's really odd. It's interesting.
Yeah, but it like adds this weird uncanniness, even though it's like kind of goofy looking.
Yeah.
So yeah, just wanted
No,
to.
it's very uncanny. I don't think any of it feels like it looks goofy to me. It might look like it's like low budge, but I don't think it like looks goofy.
It's like looks like it's low budget, but it's on purpose.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
that's how
It's
I
not
feel.
actually low budget. It like makes you uncomfortable every time.
Yes.
So yeah, what the hell though? Why is that guy there?
Question mark.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
under my question.
Oh, good. Sorry, I just wanted to bring it up as a Black Lodge. So let's talk some cherry
Cherry pie
pies.
moments.
Were there any in this episode?
I put that there was good music at the Roadhouse, and I was happy that Shelley was seemingly enjoying her night out with the gals.
You didn't even recognize Shelley at
I
first,
did
which
not.
I also didn't the first time. Still beautiful. She just aged.
Yeah, she just looks older.
Everyone looks older. It's crazy when people actually are allowed to age. James
also-
looks the same.
He does. I also had this exciting moment, and this is weird for me, because I don't find this man exciting. When I saw Balthasar Getty at the bar,
Red.
I was like, what the fuck? Why are you here?
Yep. And he's winking to Shelley.
I was kind of excited by it. And I think he's not very good in Lost Highway, and that's the only thing I've seen him in. So for me to be excited that he is here is confusing.
Yep.
I think he looks handsome, and I'm excited to see what his use is in this story.
You know who I was excited about?
Who?
Duncan Todd, or whatever his name is. The guy that is the one that gets jump scared to death by the homeless
Mulholland
lady in Mulholland Drive.
yeah.
He's the one that was like making the payment
He's
to her.
in Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, talking about her and him. Love him. Just get pumped when he shows up, you know?
Yeah, that
He's a
was
cool guy.
interesting too. We really haven't talked much about that, but I have that in my questions.
Oh, okay, we'll get there
but
then.
he says, tell her she has the job, and then the other guy, Roger, is like, why do you let him make you do these things? And then that guy says, you better hope you never get involved with someone like him.
Which makes me think it's Mr. C.
Yeah, I said, who is C? Mr. C? I would
Yeah.
assume. And like, but like, what is he making
And what
you
is her?
do? And who is her? Like, she has the job. Are they somehow part of, like, maybe it's not Mr. C and her job is Daria killing him? Like, I don't know. That doesn't necessarily make
So
sense
much
to
going
me.
on.
But like, I'd like to know what that is.
Me too.
But
We really got to
like,
pay.
hey,
You better
buddy.
keep track of all these questions, because I even felt the first time watching there were things that I was like forgot my questions, and then was like, oh wait, that would have connected something. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that your studious note taking is going to help me understand the show better.
Oh, we'll see.
My only cherry pie moment was I said Hawk at the entrance to the lodge. I thought that was cool.
That was cool, but then it made me sad because then Coop doesn't show up. So
Mm-hmm.
now he was just waiting there for nothing, and the log had the information incorrect, which makes me feel bad for the log lady.
I just love her calling him though, and Hawk going there, and she's like, "Where are you?" And how she wants him to come by and stop by after. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
They're
don't
so
know. It just like brings you
precious.
back to that time, and it freaks you out because you're thinking like, Harry sat there for 12 hours basically last time, and Andy was there with, "You want coffee?
Yeah.
Want a donut?" Now Hawk is back sitting there, and he sees the lodge. He sees the curtains, which is even scarier. It's very scary. The whole show's scary, and that's why I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 3 quick dying to discusses, if you'll allow me.
Okay.
One, I thought it was really interesting that Ray Wise was in the episode for about 2 seconds and said, "Find Laura," to Coop.
I didn't even write that down. I forgot that
Well,
happened.
that happened. He says, "Find Laura." I'm like, what does that mean? He's still here? Is he being punished? What does he mean? Is he atoning? What's going on? You know?
Who the fuck knows?
Something that was interesting that you didn't write down also that I forgot was the fake Jeffries said, "Missed you in New York," to Mr. C.
That was during that last, when he calls him and then he's like, who that?
And what's going on in New York? Do you remember?
The box.
The box, exactly.
So, yeah, I did not write that down. I don't even know if I caught it.
It said, missed you in New York, and the box is in New York. And so I'm like, is this all connected?
Like, was he somehow supposed to go through the box to go back? Or
is it
something?
unrelated?
Yeah, I don't.
And then non-existent. I don't know what that means. I liked it, though.
Yeah, I also wrote somewhere, I don't know what that means.
I think it literally, he kicked Cooper out of the lodge into literal non-existent space.
Yeah.
It's scary. Obviously, the episode ended with him like falling through space.
He literally looks like he's falling through time and space, and then we don't know where he's going to end up.
It's like that episode of SpongeBob.
If he woke up and literally was like in the 30s, I'd be like, yeah, sure. Like, I don't know.
That would be so
sick.
That'd be very dark coded.
It would be very dark coded. That's how it feels.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of love that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all I have. Let's talk about questions we're carrying forward.
Okay.
Which are just you. You better have 20 questions for this audience.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll try not to give any answers unless I will say with this season compared to others, a lot of these questions are more going to lead to discussion rather than an actual answer in the show. So I will try my best if I think it's better to discuss to just have the discussion, or if I think you might get more placed on top of it to wait a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
So
Bill said, I wasn't there, but I had a dream that night that I was in her apartment, like we discussed. So how was he able to be there, seemingly only in a dream? I also have that guy 2 cells over that basically floats away. So how the fuck and who the fuck has had a lodge entity?
I think it's a woodsman, yes. But.
Was Bill's wife having an affair with Mr. C / if not, how does she know him? Because she seemingly knows him. She says, what are you doing here? Then we have the guy working in Vegas. You said his name was Duncan Todd. He says, you better hope you never get involved with someone like him. We just talked about this. Who is him? Is it Mr. C? What is he making him do? Then I also have, why does Mr. C want information from Bill's secretary, and how specifically is he involved in Bill's storyline and the murder of Ruth and John Doe? Again, we talked about brain dead rambling about theories for that already. So then I have, was the log lady calling Hawk to warn him that Coop was supposed to be leaving the lodge? I think that seems pretty obvious, but like now, how will these two cope with that not happening? Like, what is next for their story now? Is the log gonna have new information, or is the log gonna be stuck with the past information? Who's to say? Why did Mr. C kill Jack? Did Jack also was hired? Because to our knowledge, we know Daria and Ray were hired.
They were doing something. Jack was doing something with Bill's Hastings secretary's car. I remember them saying that. And they were like set up to get information from Bill Hastings' secretary. Yeah. But it sounds like the 3 of them were pulled to kill Mr. C.
Okay, I wasn't sure if Jack was necessarily involved in that. I would guess.
I think so.
I wasn't confirmed. And then, did Jeffries really order the hit against Mr. C, or was this someone else also kind of pretending to be Jeffries, like when he speaks to the not Jeffries later? So then, on that note, who is this person he's speaking to later that he thinks is Jeffries and then realizes it's not Jeffries? And why does that person want to be with Bob again? Who wants to hang out with Bob? That's bad news. That caller also said you met with Garland Briggs. So did Mr. C meet with Garland Briggs? And why and how is Garland Briggs involved in
Definitely save that question.
Sinister entity that feels unlike him, so it's kind of confusing. What was Mr. C's plan to avoid going back to the lodge?
You can save that one. We'll talk about that soon.
Okay. And then Mr. C was downloading the prison blueprints. Was this the prison that Ray's in?
Yes.
Is he trying to get in to kill Ray?
Yes, he's trying to get to Ray.
I mean, I know he's trying to
We're trying to get
Ray.
the information, yeah.
So my question is, like, does he think Ray definitely has the information he's trying to get it and then he's going to kill him? Or, like, also, why does he need it so desperately? Like, he says he only wants it, he doesn't need it, but it seems kind of like you need it if you're looking at prison blueprint. So, interested in how that's going to go down. The arm said 253 time and time again. What does that mean?
I have no idea, so I want you to hold on to it, so in case a number comes up again, we can go
Well, because I have another number written down, too, that they said, that the giant said, so I am frazzled. How does the arm have a doppelganger? We kind of already talked about the arm being confusing.
I think it's a discussion.
And then how did he get sent to the box? And still, how is the box operating?
I don't know if you need to save the one. There was one near the top I want you to save. Can I go near the top?
Yeah.
It was maybe the dream one. That might be a good one. I had to tell you something. I wasn't there, but I had a dream that night.
Yeah.
You should carry
that
on forward. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, let's go through some couple that you that you have.
That I'm holding on to, or
Yes.
that lingering. The giant sang, "Listen to the sounds. It's in our house now. It cannot be said aloud now. Remember 4:30, Richard and Linda, 2 birds with 1 stone." To my awareness.
You're going to be holding on to this one for 18 parts, possibly. This one is going to go on forever and ever, but like I definitely want to hold on to it because I think it's cool.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We've not heard of Richard or Linda.
Yep.
And then what is the box for?
Hold on to that.
Who is the mysterious billionaire that opened the box?
You can start making some guesses on who.
These are
owns the
questions that
box.
we linger. We are holding on to them
Okay,
till we have an answer. And then, was Bill having an affair with Betty? Confirmed. He was.
Was it confirmed? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. Or was it Ruth? No, I can't remember.
Ruth is like an older lady.
Oh,
Betty's his secretary, and his wife.
That's right.
In that conversation, I believe,
Said
is
it was
like,
her.
"Yeah, I know you were sleeping with your secretary."
Yeah, that's right.
Or
That's
like
right.
sleeping with someone.
There's so many characters that I'm getting confused too.
Yeah, he was having an affair. We know he was actually having an affair with someone, so
Yes.
I'm very strongly assuming it's Betty. And then, what's the Blue Rose Task Force? What's the deal with electricity? Sarah telling Mr. Briggs, "I'm in the Black Lodge with Dale Cooper. I'm waiting for you. Who was this message from, and why to Briggs?" And now I'm adding, like, does that have to do with why Briggs has been in touch with Mr. C?
Very well might.
So that's fun. Is Laura stuck in the waiting room / lodge somehow? How is she really even there? Is she really even there?
I would say that she's there, but I think we saw with the movie her angel came back. So that was like her kind of happy ending. So she's not exactly like suffering, at least in my mind. That I choose to believe she's not suffering. But this is just what was meant for her. I don't know.
And I have a few more, but we'll talk about those.
That's fine. We got lots of good questions and more added. So let's rate this episode.
I was having a good old time. It was a damn fine cup of coffee.
It's a damn fine cup of coffee. And I'm going to say I don't know if I will go below a damn fine cup of coffee for all of the return. I'd be interested to see if there's an episode I dislike.
Yeah.
Or even feel like middle on. They're just so out there and interesting that it's hard to not like it. So, okay, that was a lot, as it will continue to be as we move forward.
I need a nap.
Just from talking about it?
Like, yeah. Literally.
Okay, well, I think that about wraps us up. So is there anything else you need to say to the audience out there?
Nah, dudes.
No, cool. Well, then we will see you all next week with a fresh cup of coffee.
Thank you for listening to Welcome to Twin Peaks, a Twin Peaks rewatch podcast from Horror Hour with the Hannas. If you liked the episode, please make sure to give us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app. If you'd like to call into the show, call us at 215-821-9584. You can find us on the socials at Welcome to Twin Peaks Podcast on Instagram, or at our original account at Horror Hour Hannas on TikTok. Come back soon for more coop, coffee, and cream corn.